Azrael, by Simon Barrett and E.L. Katz, starring Samara Weaving, is about a group of people who have renounced speaking in the aftermath of the rapture. The movie opens with Samara Weaving stomping out some dude's fire and shoving him away, and then crying and turning around to kiss him, and eventually giving him a red berry bracelet that she made. They then hear a bird call, and lots of running and grabbing happens. Her and her man are caught by a bunch of people and are taken to a different part of the forest. They then perform some kind of ritual and wait for a burned zombie to come for Samara. She breaks off a piece of her chair and almost escapes when one of her captors tries to hold her down. She stabs him in the neck with the broken end of her chair, and he is subsequently consumed by the zombie. After she escapes, she goes looking for her man. She runs into some zombies and finds a small settlement of people. Turns out that settlement is home to the people who kidnapped her man. She finds the bracelet and confirms he must be here. The settlement houses a church where all the people pray in silence, and a pregnant woman wearing a white dress seems to be the congregational leader. I'm sure that will be relevant later. Samara sneaks around the camp until being discovered by one of her captors who tries to choke her to death. Samara kicks her in the face and crawls away. After the woman recovers, she sets off alarm bells, alerting the settlement to Samara's presence. She escapes and runs further into the woods, where she's found by a guy in a truck who is then shot in the face by one of the settlement people, and the truck crashes into a bridge in one of the most retarded sequences put to film. The guy is like 30 yards away from this truck, who he just shot the driver, and he can't be bothered to move out of the way, and it just hits him. She gets out and is okay, though. A little dizzy, but otherwise fine. Oh no, the guy who got hit by the truck is alive and able to move enough to fight her. We're then treated to a 5-minute-long struggle between 100-pound Samara Weaving and 200-pound thug number 1 until she manages to squeeze off a bullet into his head.
Okay.
Well, she's on her way again. She then finds her boyfriend in the same way she found him in the beginning of the film, except this time it's a trap. Why are all these people obsessed with Samara Weaving and her boyfriend? How do they know exactly where she is at all times? So zombies attack and kill her boyfriend's captor. It's pretty gruesome. They then leave but come back so that we can have a jump scare, and they go to work on her boyfriend and try to get her down from a tree. So now Samara Weaving has a gun, and she's able to track her way back to the settlement, forgetting all about her boyfriend. He was completely pointless for this movie. Everybody in the settlement is dumb. Samara Weaving just whistles in the distance, and it's enough for them to send 3 scouts to go find out what it was instead of going, no, fuck that, there's zombies out there. She finds her way into the church, where she sets her sights on the pregnant lady, who's still in there, and we get to learn about why the fuck this movie is even happening. Nope, never mind. The pregnant lady quickly disarms her and knocks her over the head with a frying pan, but not before Samara can rip her dress at the belly. Samara wakes up being dragged to an open grave where settlement people start their weird ritual again. They throw her into the grave and bury her alive. Oh wait, a trap door opens at her feet with a lantern waiting for her. She scoots out, grabs the lantern, and follows the tunnel, but there's a zombie inside. This one doesn't want to hurt her, though. Why? Because she has the smell of the blood of the pregnant lady on her fingers that the last scene conveniently didn't show us so that we could have this scary moment. So the zombie fucks off back down the tunnel, and Samara Weaving gets out of the coffin because they only decided to put like a few shovels of dirt on it. Okay, what the fuck is going on with this movie? Do they all know Samara or something? Are they toying with her? Is this supposed to be a grand ritual that if she survives the other smaller rituals, they get to complete this one? Why the fuck was there a zombie in that graveyard? Why was there even a tunnel and a trap door to begin with? If there wasn't a zombie there, where would the tunnel have gone? Who put the lit lantern there? Why did anything in that sequence happen at all other than to tell us that zombies are pacified by pregnant ladies' blood? Was there no better way to give us this information? So Samara Weaving sets some old lady on fire because she's related to the lady that's been in charge of hunting her. This sets off a chain reaction of fires, and now Samara Weaving is just mowing these people down with her gun in a revenge story that is just as confusing as the plot of this movie. At this point, we're over an hour into the film, and we don't know anything that's going on, and we have 17 minutes left. Let's hope the story can start before then. After going Rambo on one of the settlers, Samara goes back into the church where she has a sword fight with the pregnant lady with a machete and a meat cleaver. Samara takes a fucking bite out of her neck and spits it out just as pregnant lady's water breaks. Leader lady shoots up the church with her shotgun while pregnant lady gives birth, and there's another long, drawn-out, slow struggle between the old lady and Samara Weaving while pregnant lady gives birth. After the birth, the baby's cries aren't normal, and the pregnant lady staggers out of the birthing area and cuts her own throat. The cries sound more and more inhuman and call the zombies from outside towards it. Samara Weaving slowly walks towards the baby so that we can pad the runtime even more, and finally looks at what this movie is all about, and it's a demon goat baby. The final shot is Samara Weaving haloed by a window, grinning wickedly to the sounds of the zombies. And that's it. That's the plot of Azrael. Boy, was this movie fucking dumb. Talk about your mystery box after mystery box with absolutely no answers or explanations at all. ever. You're just supposed to watch this thing and go, well, I guess that was a movie. Nothing at all in terms of a story or character for Samara. The choice to keep an almost completely dialogue-free movie except for the trucker was kind of stupid and ineffective because, again, we don't know why they're not talking, other than taking a vow of silence. Samara Weaving shows the trucker her throat, and there's a red marking there, so I have to assume that means some damage was done to her throat, or maybe it could just be paint or a sign of a reminder of her vow. Again, I have to assume this because the movie won't tell me otherwise. The runtime of this thing is an hour and 18 minutes before the credits, and you feel it. The pacing is so awful despite some of the action that by the end of the movie, you're just like, let's fucking go already. I don't know who had this brilliant idea for a movie, but you can stop here, please. We don't want any more of this. The positives are the same as usual. It's a great-looking film with gnarly practical special effects for the burnt-bodied zombies and all the gore that this movie has, but otherwise, it's pretty trash. If you're looking for a supernatural or biblical horror film, look elsewhere because Azrael is a boring slog.